Hi, Cindy Olin here with Create Your Luck and Love. And I am excited to have join me today my very special guest, friend, colleague, beauty, and stylist, Olivia Trevino. Olivia, I'm so excited that we're here today. And you guys, we're going to be talking about dating and debunking some of the myths, can't talk today, some of the myths about dating and relating out there. I actually received somebody that wrote in about, how to date when you're 50, 100 pounds overweight, when maybe even weight feels like a barrier to you too. So, welcome, Olivia. Happy you're here.
Yay, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So, we were talking a little bit before this, and we both wanted to speak into this, but I would love to hear some of your thought process around this personally, too.
Yeah, I hear women, friends, clients talk to me all the time about like, oh, I'll date, I just got to lose 20 pounds and it's actually not just dating. It's like a new job or a new whatever. People are like, oh, I got to lose weight first. It's just really interesting how women often, not all women, but like often we put like all of our value in our weight for some reason. And it is just like how you said, it's just a big barrier that it's kind of made up in a lot of ways. Yeah. like unless you want to go climb a mountain or something, it shouldn't really be a barrier.
Unless you're a marathoner, or you're trying to do something to where that's a factor.
Yeah, it's a real thing. But
I think something important to point out too, this is a statistic that I read. It was a while ago, so this might be out of date, but I don't think it's very, very much out of date. But the average size of the American woman is size 10. And I don't know what the average size of the American man, but so that's not your perfect, whatever you call it, size 2, size 6.
I mean, I look great as a size 10, but but I'm 5'8" and curvier Latina woman. So, I mean, it's like the average size it's like also like, what's the average height? There's like, if the average height's like 5'4" and then the average size is 10, it's different, right?
Yeah, and I feel like it is the average height is 5'4". You're right.
So that's most likely like at least 20 pounds overweight, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think because of social media and because there's, so many celebrities or influencers out there that project the perfect body, which oftentimes is airbrushed in pictures and that sort of thing. But it sends a message to a normal, healthy sized woman that she needs to be a certain way in order to feel valued or desired. And it's truly not about that. I mean, you're really successful dating, and you're a full-size woman.
Full size.
Full size. Voluptuous size.
I mean, yeah, like I'm a size 16, pretty across the board, and easily 50 pounds overweight. It distributes everywhere.
Yeah.
But
Sexy.
I would say I've been about 50 pounds overweight for most of my dating life.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, majority of it. And it's not been a barrier for me.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah, let's speak into that a little bit more, because I always say about you, like, men flock to you everywhere. I literally, we'll be at an event and you'll go, oh, I had this hottie hit up on me at, whatever, XYZ. And I'm like, how does she do it? But you do, like, it's just, it seems to come very natural to you. And I feel like it's an energy thing with you. And, oftentimes women will put the weight as a barrier, may even keep weight as a barrier between themselves and a man, so that they're not, maybe they don't feel valued themselves. I don't know. But I mean, I get it. I've struggled with my weight off and on probably my entire life. I mean, since I had my son, I definitely went the other direction, whereas, I was a size 2 before I had him. And then, after that, I wasn't. But I have also found that there have been times when I've been more overweight, that I felt more desired. Then there were times that I, had what you may think in society is quote unquote the perfect body. Not that anything's
you had the perfect body. Did you have the perfect men?
No. 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 Yeah, it's not. You're not. I mean, are there certain things that might transpire based on your confidence? Yes. But if you're not feeling confident in a size 2 body, you're going to have the same experience as you would if you were a size 12. So, and I think that a lot of times women will put that as a barrier to entry. So they're not actually putting themselves out there. They're not dating. And men love women of all sizes and shapes. I mean, you get asked out all the time. When you date online, you don't have an issue connecting with men. What would you say the biggest challenge you have is?
Biggest challenge?
Yeah.
With dating?
We are talking about dating. We'll go into styling in a minute, but
well, I'm just to speak into like the women that feel like they can't date because they're overweight. I think you get to just make a decision of like being confident. So like there is something about your body and about who you are that you love, I hope. Mm-hmm. And I think like, first of all, like just taking care of yourself. Maybe you need to like take a nice bubble bath and like drink some wine and just like get into your body and feel sexy. And then from there, pick out an outfit that you feel good in, and put like a little lip gloss or lipstick on, and lipstick and earrings and mascara. That's everyone will think you're all put together, even if you're in yoga pants. And I mean, yeah, it's all about confidence. And like, I mean, even when I think about the men and women that I want to be around, I want to be around confident, positive people that are fun, that are up to something, that have interesting things to say. It's not necessarily what they look like. I've been on dates with like really good looking men, but they don't have any confidence or they're not doing anything. And
Right.
it's just not interesting to me. You know, I'm like, I don't want to, I could see where this could go, right? I could jump into a relationship with this guy and then I could carry the whole thing. And that's just not interesting to me. I need,
Right. Yeah.
and I need more. And I think men do too, you know, especially when you're, you know, over 30, 40s and beyond. Like you need a little bit more. It's not just like who you want to sleep with physically.
Right. And I feel like you spoke into something just now, Olivia, that I feel is really important because I find that women might, you know, have a picture of what they think they want to be with. And, you know, that man could just as easily be, you know, a a successful business guy that travels all the time, that, you know, has a propensity to cheat, or, you know, isn't going to be necessarily a commitment oriented person, which feeds into, I believe, the limiting thought and belief that I hear all the time, that there's no, you know, there's no men that want to commit out there, which is BS as well. And, you know, I personally feel like if you're so geared towards this guy must look a certain way, this, you know, in order for me to feel attracted to them, you cannot tell chemistry through a picture if you're dating online, for one. And secondly, you get to really decide what's important to you. Is it important that he's the best looking guy in the room? Is it important, you know, and why is that a value? Do you want somebody that's interested in you and what you're up to as well? Because, you know, I've experienced it where I've been with a successful, attractive man. You have too, where he wasn't interested in my passions or my dreams. You know. Go ahead.
Yeah. And that's not really fun.
It's not, and it, you know, also feeds into knowing who you are, and instead of being like the woman that's so irresistible, what makes you irresistible is your confidence and your authenticity of knowing who you are and getting really intimate with yourself around that piece.
Yeah. I mean, I think about like, I mean, with when you're if you're looking for just like a hot man, like a hot body, and that is like the number 1, 2, and 3 most important things to you, like, are you looking for a relationship or do you want a lover, like, or a one night stand, like, which is fine, but like, I think like if I'm gonna date someone seriously, I mean, are they fun to like sit on the couch with on a Sunday afternoon and sip coffee and watch TV? Or are they fun to go grocery shopping with, or like drive the kids to soccer, you know, because that's like real life. Like, am I enjoying like making dinner, like making, you know, just like the everyday things? Like, I want to have like a fun relationship, like a best friend type of relationship. I want to be more free and more open and things be more fun and talked about, and like, not, I don't know, I'd rather like run through the house and giggle and laugh and like be playful than like always trying to like be perfect and posed and trying to look sexy. And I mean, that's just me, you know, and I don't know. I just think like the connection between people is more important.
Right. And if you're trying to look perfect all the time, like you just said, what I find is you become really disconnected with yourself. Therefore, there's no way that you could actually create a true connection. I mean, I teach about connection with men to my clients all the time. And the first thing I share with them about it's truly about that connection with yourself. And, you know, and then it continues moving on from there. And, you know, yourself, how vulnerable you are. And, you know, the vulnerability goes into authenticity and, you know, being able to lighten up, make fun of yourself, have some fun on the journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying like looking good is, I mean, if fitness is one of your core values, you know, then it's great to find someone that will go on hikes with you. And like, I'm not saying don't look perfect, but I'm just saying like, you can just be you, and they're confidently loving you as much as you can, and you'll attract people. It makes you magnetic. Like, it's like she's, I don't know, being free with her conversation and what she thinks, and that's more
right. And I think that's a big one, Olivia. Like, you know, I work with women, or, you know, talk to women, hear from them all the time, where they feel like they can't be too open about what it is they want, where they're, you know, who they truly are. You know, and I do believe that to a certain extent, you know, especially on the first couple dates, there's a little bit of, you know, a mask that we put on. However, the more authentic you can be and practicing around that, the more connections you're going to have. I mean, yes, can you act it out and maybe get a lot of dates? Sure. But that's not sustainable either.
Yeah.
And something else I've experienced when it comes to men and dating or relationships, a lot of men like it when you don't have your makeup on.
They do.
They love it. They don't necessarily they want to be able to know that what's underneath your makeup isn't just like, you know, a mask that you're tearing off your face and you look like a completely different person. So.
Yeah. I mean, in a dating profile anyway, I do makeup. I'm for part of my living, but I always have a picture with very, very little makeup or no makeup in my dating profile, and it's always it's important. Men like that, or like just after a workout, or it's like the realness. I also always have full body pictures. I try to show my personality. I'm kind of funny and awkward. I don't know if I'm awkward, but I'm definitely klutzy. So.
Right. You're you, and you're funny, and you have the ability to laugh at yourself. And I think that is just such an awesome quality. I mean, that witty banter that you carry, and instead of, you know, being in your head all the time, like, you know, how do I say the right thing, or, you know, what's the best thing to do? It's like, really drop into your heart too. Utilize your intuition, because women are really intuitive. Men are intuitive too. So they pick up on your energy. Even if they don't know what it is at first, they pick up on it too.
Yeah, and dating, I feel like there's just, as far as dating, if you're feeling that awkward self-consciousness on a date, get interested in something that they're talking about or wearing. Oh, that's a nice watch. Where'd you get that watch? Or what made you pick this restaurant? Whatever, you know, like ask questions about them, so you can listen and be just really interested in them.
That's such a good point too, because I just did a live about this. And there's actually a study in, I believe it's, don't quote me on the source, but it's, I think it's Psychology Today, that was done around what makes people feel more connected to you. And it was 100-fold curiosity. So Saved by the Bell. It was all about curiosity.
Yeah.
So, and curiosity in the other person actually made that person feel more connected with you, feel safer in just one conversation. I mean, I feel like Olivia is one of those people that, and not everybody's like that, but I remember the first time I met you, I felt really close and connected to you because, I mean, you were just you and you were curious, right? So it's the same thing when it comes to your dating. Think about, you know, friends that you have that it's so easy for you to feel close with. How are they like in all of their relationships? You know, whether it be with men or otherwise. I feel like that is a really good benchmark.
Dog.
Hi, Minnie.
The crazy dog. Here's a benchmark when I date. Do you think my dog is cute? Are you into pets? Anyway, yeah, it is about being connected. So I, as an esthetician who been seeing clients forever, I see clients in 15-minute increments all day. So sometimes I'll see 20 clients in a day and I get connected with them really quickly. So I have a lot of practice with it, which we could do it another thing.
Yeah, I feel like
I could talk about it forever, like how to connect with people really fast.
Yeah.
But in an authentic way, and it is being curious about them. And asking questions that aren't shallow, like how about the weather or whatever. It's like, you know, like for example, oh, I love your watch. Oh yeah, my dad gave me this watch. Oh, were you and your dad close? So, you know, it's like, I'm just thinking about what I would ask, but I really want to know.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's a big thing too. Like you want to be authentically curious about the person and not quite as concerned as, you know, do they know a whole lot about me, especially on a first meeting, because I'm here to tell you, you know a lot about you. There's plenty of time to disclose that. I mean, if the guy is completely not interested, that's a whole nother topic that we'll definitely get into a different time.
Just on that note, I want to talk quickly. There's this show. Have you ever seen New Girl? That show, New Girl?
I've heard of it.
Okay, so there's an episode. I think it's season 2. I've watched this episode a bunch of times. It's called Dice. That's the name of the episode. And it's making fun of Tinder, but they call it Dice. It's like you shake your phone and swipe, and it's a hookup site. And so Jess is trying to date, and she's like she's just trying to give all these ridiculous guys like chances. And so her friend's constantly rescuing her with like these stupid excuses. It's really funny. But anyway, they're sitting in the car, and it's Jess and then her friend Schmidt. And he's sitting in the car and he's looking at Jess, who's his really good friend. And he goes, Jess, you don't get it. Like, you're the last piece of pie. You're the last piece of pie. I don't know why that's their analogy, but I think about that sometimes. I'm like, I'm the last piece of pie. Like, you're the prize. I'm the prize.
Right. And
I'm going to learn about them in the beginning, because do I want to spend my time with them? Like, who are they? Because I own a business. I'm a mom. I have a lot of friends. And time is my most valuable resource. So it's like really important to me if I'm going to spend like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever having a drink with somebody, that first of all, just getting there, I have a few questions, but then like once we're there, it's like, well, is this person interesting to me? You know, like there was the Good on Paper guy I went out with a while back, that lots of money, high up at Amazon, like great dad, lots of properties, like owns a lake house and really into me. But he wouldn't eat French fries on a Thursday. He wouldn't share fries with me because he only eats potatoes on the weekends because he's got to keep his figure. And I was like, bored. Like, I'm out.
Right.
And it's just like, it's not like just about the fries. It's like, he's not flexible about anything.
Right. I was just going to say that's a real rigidness. And,
yeah.
And, you know, it's one thing if you're like, I love fries, and I do love fries, by the way, but
everybody loves fries.
I'm actually, you know, I've got a goal and I'm not eating them right now, but I'll definitely eat them with you in the future. Or, you know, it's those types of things. Like if you're flexible in your life, or you're like, heck, I can have a couple of fries. It's not going to kill me. Right.
Yeah. I have like 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or don't eat fries on the weekend. I don't know, but like he was pursuing me like hardcore. So it was just interesting to me that, and we were having a happy hour. We were just going to share some food at the bar, which is like, there was sliders and fries. I mean, you know, that was like one of the main things to order. So we were going to share food. Seemed like the right thing to share, but like, all right, fine, we won't get fries, we'll share slider, I mean, whatever. But I was just like, forget this, dude. I'm a little, and that's part of that, is knowing myself really well, that like I'm gonna be a wild card for him because I don't always know what I'm gonna get into, you know. I like experiences.
I like new things.
And the other thing I want to say is he was really into his like figure and getting his fitness in and not eating potatoes on the weekends and all that stuff. And really into me, a woman that's probably 50 pounds overweight. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's all relative. It's all how you show up. I mean, you know, we were talking about somebody that we mutually know that she just owns it too. And she walks into a room and she calls herself out. She's like, yeah, I'm overweight. I'm this, I'm that, you know? And people love being around her because she's fun. She exudes confidence. She's interesting. So it's about those things. If you don't, I think this is a key factor. If you don't have something in your life that you're passionate about or you find interesting about you, do you think other people are going to find you interesting? Right?
Can I just start our mutual friend we were talking about that's overweight? I'm not really friends with her, but I know her through other people. She's very overweight, probably like 403.
I mean, she's probably, let's just say 150, 200 pounds, maybe overweight.
Very round woman and very successful and all that. But my favorite, like what made me like her was I was following her on Facebook because friends of friends. And she was doing this, like she wanted to do a half marathon. And she was doing this training and she didn't get her workout in that day. It was like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or something. And it was storming outside. So she didn't want to go run outside. So she like ran around her house, like went up and down the stairs. And then she had like mapped it on an app on her phone. And it was like the funniest, like this is years ago and I still remember it. And I'm like, she's hilarious. I want to be friends with her.
Yeah.
Because it's not like about her size. It's like,
well, she had a goal.
She had to
accomplish. I don't remember that particular, but I remember when she was training for the half marathon because that's funny. But it's like, It's things like that. What are things about you that you can kind of make fun of yourself? Like I had to get my workout in, so I, you know, figured out that I could count my steps around the house and get it all in, right?
What are you doing? Like, what are your hobbies? Do you like embroider at night, or I don't know, anything? It's like, share that with anyone. They want to know.
Right. Or maybe you've got a really ultra geeky, nerdy side. Share that.
Maybe you're
Be
super excited about a puzzle you completed. Who doesn't love a puzzle?
right. Right.
It's a
So,
great way to have a conversation, by the way. Puzzle. Doing a puzzle with someone, because you get into the puzzle, but you can really have some good conversations.
I think so too. I think playing a game, like as well as a puzzle, is a good way to get connected with someone. And it's doing an activity. I think we'll get into this a different time, but a lot of times people think, meet for coffee, meet for a drink or something like that. But activities are actually a lot better to connect with someone, especially when you don't know them at all, unless you're just particularly gifted like Olivia when it comes to connecting with someone quickly. And I believe that is a skill set that people have.
You can learn tools.
You totally learn it.
You have questions you like to ask or take surveys another thing I just occurred to me right now is that what people first impression is a big deal. So the first impression, when the first time you're meeting a guy, the first time he sees you in person, since we're talking about dating, is really key, I think. So if you have like a great outfit on and you're walking in and you're meeting him somewhere, I think it is really important to walk in like head up, like shoulders, like smile, look around, be open. And that's like key. And then when you meet him, if you like him, like open arm, maybe you hug, maybe it's not super awkward, but it's that first impression, that like first moment that I don't know, kind of steers the course of how they're going to view you.
Totally. I agree. And you can't, what's that saying? You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Yeah. It's so true, especially when it comes to dating. I've experienced this so many times when I've met people and I thought, I don't know how I feel about them and the first time. And then the second time I met them, I thought they were amazing. So people are watching, if you're having a particularly bad day or something, I wouldn't recommend going on a first date. And unless you can just suck it up and be like, all right, I'm going to have the best attitude ever. I'm going to, take this hour and connect with this person and escape other things that are going on in my life. And
I would say definitely before a date, regardless of your size, is to be like, have that conversation with yourself, a little pep talk that you're the last piece of pie.
I love that.
You're the prize. And then you can go, it's totally SNL old school, like Pat, like you are good enough or whatever.
I like you.
I
like you. Yeah, I love it. So I also, maybe just right before we wrap up, because you and I could talk for hours and hours, and I don't want to go down too many rabbit holes. I really want these women to get a benefit from opening themselves up no matter what to dating. What about a couple of, I know you've already mentioned these, but maybe a couple of just beauty tips that you've found supports women in confidence and the things that men tend to catch a man's attention?
Oh, yeah. So the first and foremost, focus on what you love about yourself and your body. Even if it's just your face or just your eyebrows or your, whatever, just woo,
Take my
accentuate something about yourself that you really love. And if you're like, my face and my body are not, I don't, if you're feeling that way, but you love your personality, well, let her show, let her shine. But what, even though men say often that they don't like makeup, a little bit of lip gloss or lipstick, just make your lips look a little shiny. Earrings, just like a simple hoop or something shiny, either dangly or shiny. And mascara. So lashes, lips, mascara. Lashes, lips, and earrings. Or maybe you hate earrings. So then wear something shiny, like a necklace, because it looks girly. And when I think about what men might love about women, objectively, I think like the femininity. So it's like the like softness and like maybe smell good, things like that. So I like to wear perfume too, because I'm like thinking about all the senses. So,
right. I know the five senses, and men do love smell. They like, they like to, it does in fact open them up to you. They like, the sparkly, they like,
yeah,
all of that.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're going on a hike, you could put a little lip gloss and like a little stud earring, just something that's teeny bit girly.
Right.
They like it.
They do.
And they feel like special because they're like, she looks pretty. I think, did she get pretty for me?
Right.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to feel that way? Right?
I like it when a man smells good and put on his little button-up shirt and his nice shoes. I feel like, oh, he got dressed up for me. It's so cute.
Cute. It's so cute. And it's true. I think we can take that for granted a lot because, oftentimes we can be our own worst critic. Or you can also really tell if he didn't put any energy into it, if he didn't iron his shirt or those kinds of things.
Like, so, really, you just rolled out of bed? Like, I'm out of here, Like,
right.
No, yeah, so, and just on a side note, not necessarily related to dating, but related to clothes and how you look and feel, I suggest to clean out your closet and get all that junk out that doesn't fit. All of it. If it's too big, get rid of it. If it's too small, like those jeans that are there that you're like, I really want to fit into those again, but currently they're making you feel bad about yourself because you can't fit into them, get rid of them. Donate them. Just wear clothes that fit you. It's way better.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Really good advice. All right, ladies, I hope this was helpful to you and that it inspires you to get yourself out there, opening yourself up to connection and dating. All right. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.